Hey guys, Dan here, founder of Excel Academy, and thank you for joining me for this short Head Start 2018 free training video. This is the first in a 5-part series that I've just launched today. I'm in Baltimore, in Maryland, in the United States. Absolutely freezing. I've taken my gloves off. You can see I'm holding my one glove here. I've got a Starbucks coffee to keep me warm. And it's about -7. The real feels about -13 today. It's absolutely frozen. I'm here by the harbor. I'm by one of the headquarters of Under Armour here on the harbor's edge, and most of the water there, I don't know if you can see, but it has frozen over. We're going to cross over to my Excel screen in a couple of moments, and I'm going to be showing you some amazing tricks and techniques for analyzing data and for working smartly in Excel. That's everything that we stand for. This is the first, as I said, in a 5-part free Head Start 2018 training series. Enjoy the video. I'll catch up with you again in a couple days. Okay, so welcome to my screen, and as you can see here, I'm on the back end of our online workshop platform, which is called Kajabi, and this shows me I'm on the products page over here. So I can see that we've got Excel 101 Classic, 202 Classic, 303 Classic, and then Excel 101 Express and 101 Express for Mac. And just in a nutshell, the Classic is the original, the full-length workshop. So in the case of Excel 101, it's 21 videos. 4 hours and 40 minutes of video content. Excel 101 Express is the fast track, fast forward 2-hour condensed version of the workshop. So 2 hours of videos, and then 101 Express for Mac is about 2.5 hours, specifically designed for people on Mac. So what we can see here is that we've got 2,211 people on the Classic and 854 people on each of the Express and the Express for Mac. So what we actually want to do is we want to download or export an Excel or CSV file with the progress of each of these people. I want to know, as at today, which is January the 2nd, you can see here January the 2nd at 11:59 a.m. here in Baltimore in Maryland, I want to know exactly where everyone is at in terms of their progress, because I want to be the Excel pal. I want to help everybody to get over the finish line and to understand where they are in the process. Okay, so what I've done here in the next 3 tabs is I've got Excel 101 Classic progress by member, and I'm going to export this file. Okay, there you can see the 2,211 members. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing for Excel 101 Express, export, and then the same thing for Mac. Click export. So here I've got the 3 files over here. I'm going to open up the first one. There it is, and you can see the first thing is that the name of the file is not so nice. It says, it's all one word, reports product progress by member 11. Okay, but the nice thing is that it gives me an export of name, email address, and the progress. Okay, and if I jump down with control down arrow, that's a really cool shortcut. I've got it on the screen there, control down arrow. It shows me that it goes up to row number 2212. Okay, so there's 2,211 people. Okay, how did I select that whole row? I pressed shift spacebar. Okay, I'm going to press control and the up arrow to go all the way up. Okay, I'm going to narrow these a little bit just to make sure that there's no people that you can see, okay, just for confidentiality. And we are going to do the same for the other 3. Okay, so sorry, the other 2. So we did the first one over there, and we can do the same to open up the Express and the Express for Mac. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to press F12 to save this as, okay, and it's in the downloads folder. That's fine. Okay, and I'm going to call this Excel 101 Classic Export 2018 0102. Okay, and that's just so that I know that this is in fact the Classic. Okay, and then I'm going to open up the Express. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press F12. Okay, and let's see if I can, there we go. I can just click on that. I'm saving it in the same place, but this time instead of Classic, I'm going to say Express. Okay, and then I'll go back here and I do the final one. And this one I'm going to press F12 and I'm going to call it Express for Mac export. Okay, save it. Okay, now I actually want to consolidate all this data from the 3 different spreadsheets, put them all into one workbook. Why? Because I want to analyze the data all in one place, because I know that I've got people that overlap. So I've got people who are in all 3 streams, and some people who are just in one stream or 2 of the streams, but I want all the data sitting in one central location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify which workshop each spreadsheet actually refers to, or which stream. So I'm going to write over here workshop as a heading, okay? And this is Excel 101 Express for Mac. Okay, so let's type that in, Express for Mac. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom right corner, and I can click and drag. Okay, and that's pretty cool. Or I can just double click on the bottom right corner as soon as my mouse cursor changes to what we call the overachiever, or the official name is the fill handle. Double click, and there we go. It goes all the way down, Excel 101 Express for Mac. Okay, and I'm going to actually copy that. Okay, and I'm going to, over here on the Excel 101 Express, okay, I'm going to paste that in, but it's not for Mac, so I just go into that cell with F2, and then I say it's just Excel 101 Express, double click, okay, and the heading there again is workshop, and then I do the same thing over here in the classic. Okay, Excel 101 classic. Okay, and we can double click that all the way down. Okay, now we can take the data from each of the other spreadsheets, the Express and the Express for Mac, and copy and paste the data into here. Okay, but before we do that, what I actually want to do, in fact, yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so we're going to copy all the other data into this spreadsheet. We're going to make this Excel 101 Classic. We're going to make this into the central place. Okay, so let's go to Express. And in order to select all the data, what do we do? Do you agree that we could definitely take our mouse and select the data like that and scroll all the way down? Okay, we definitely could do that. Or we can take our keyboard and we can say Shift right arrow and then Shift down arrow all the way. And we can hold, okay? But is that quick? Is that efficient? Is that fun? Not really. Okay, so the way to do it is to select with Shift and arrows, but also to jump down to the bottom quickly using Control as well. Okay, so we actually hold down the Control key and the Shift key and the down arrow button. Okay, and that goes all the way down to the bottom. We then press Control C. We then switch to the classic workbook with Alt Tab. Okay, and we jump down to the bottom of the data by pressing Control and the down arrow button. And we see it goes up to row number 2212. And we go to the very next row and we go to column A and we press Control V. Okay. And what that has done is it's pasted the Express data underneath the classic data. Okay, I can then press Control down. Okay, and I'll go all the way down to here. And now I'm going to go to Express for Mac, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press Shift arrow to the right, or Control Shift arrow right, and Control Shift and the down arrow key. And I don't need the headings again, just the actual data. Control C. I go back to the central spreadsheet and I press Control V. Okay, awesome. Now that the data goes down to 3920. So we've now got 3,920 rows of data. If I jump back up, it's Control and the up arrow. I can see my headings, name, email, progress, workshop. And what I can do as well is I can add another column which says data correct as at. Okay, and I can put in today's date and time if I want. So how do I put in today's date and time? I can press, or we can actually just put in today's date. Okay, so I'm going to press Control and semicolon. And there we go. I've got 2018-0102. So it is the 2nd of January 2018. I press Enter. And when I double click on the bottom right corner, what it does automatically is it changes the date to the 3rd of Jan, 4th of Jan, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to autofill options and I'm going to say copy cells. Okay, so this autofill options in the bottom right corner, once you've done your autofill, is really, really useful. Okay, I could have also done weekdays. Could have also done months. Okay, so there are a lot of options, but what I'm going to do is copy cells. Okay, so we've got the 2nd of January all the way down. Okay, I've now got 3,920 lines of data. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, the last thing for today's lesson is to show you that when we've got bulk data like this, when we've got raw data, there's no color, there's nothing interesting, the columns are all narrow, it's not looking very tidy and very user-friendly, we don't have filter buttons, the headings aren't in a special font or format. And what we can do in order to make things look amazing and also to make our lives much easier when we are working with this data is we can do the first step in the Excel 202 workshop that we offer is converting ordinary data into what we call table mode. And a table in Excel is the most revolutionary tool when it comes to data analysis. Okay, when it comes to data manipulation, when it comes to data visualization and summarizing. Okay, and the way we do this, converting data into a table, is, let me ask you something. What letter does the word table start with? Okay, it starts with a T. So I want you to stand somewhere in the data, okay, and press Control T on your keyboard. Okay, Control T. We press Control T on our keyboard, and what do we get? We get a little window that says Create Table. I'll move it over here. It says, where's the data for your table? From A1 to E3920, it automatically picks up the scope of the data, and it says my table has headers, which is correct, and we click OK. And what it's done is it's converted the data into a table. It's also given us a brand new tab at the top of the screen, which is called a contextual tab. It's got a whole lot of features. You'll see here when we hover our mouse cursor over one of these styles over here, it automatically shows us what the different colors will look like. We've got filter buttons we can turn on and off. We've got a whole lot of extra features here, which we're not going to go into. But what we are going to do for now is we are going to wrap up this free training video. But the good news is that in a couple of days, you're going to get the next installment. And we're going to be looking at how we can sort this data, how we can understand what's going on, how we can categorize the data into different categories, how we can use VLOOKUP. I'm even going to be showing you how to use VLOOKUP on this data. And later on, in a later video, we'll even have a look at a pivot table. Okay, so I'm going to really give you a good taste and some practical stuff that you can use immediately in your data. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do before wrapping this video up is I want to save this particular workbook as an Excel workbook instead of a CSV file. Why? Because a CSV by its very nature and by its definition is a comma separated values file, and it can have no formatting at all. So when you save it as a CSV, it removes all this fancy blue and white and table formatting, and it just leaves you with the raw data that's separated into different columns. So what we want to do is we want to press F12, okay, and I'm going to save it as, what should we call this? Do you agree that it's not just the classic export, it's actually all export? So we can say Excel 101 all, okay, and then we say export 2018-0102, and I'm going to press tab to where it says save as type, and I'm going to press the down arrow, and here I see all the options of the different types of files that you can save this as, and right at the top it says Excel workbook. I'm going to press enter, okay, and I'm going to press save. Okay, so this is going to save it as, and I want you to do the same thing. Remember, you've got the 3 downloads. I did share them with you, and what you can do now is follow me and save this as. So you press F12 and you save it as Excel 101 all export 2018-0102, or you can do the date that's relevant to you. Okay, and what we are going to do now is we're going to wrap this video up, and I'll see you in a couple of days for the next awesome free training video where we're going to look at sorting this data using multiple different columns. We're also going to explore VLOOKUP. Okay, and we're going to categorize the data according to the percentage. We're going to look at 2 different types of VLOOKUP functions. We're going to be looking at pivot tables as well. And we have so much awesome stuff still to come in this free Head Start 2018 training series. So you don't want to miss the next video. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to be awesome, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Ciao for now.